What's going on, guys? I'm back. Chapter 9, The First Spark. Tallahassee, Florida, 1 week later. Elaine Brooks glanced around the quiet conference room in the community outreach wing of the Capitol. This wasn't an official meeting. No press, no lobbyists, no committee chairs, just a handful of people who had seen the system from the inside and were ready to reimagine something better. Jessica Alvarez sat near the window, notepad in hand. She had driven up from Sarasota that morning and still had glitter on her sleeve from the center's arts and crafts session. Dr. Michael Chen arrived 5 minutes early, surprising even himself. He had spent the ride up replaying Carol Matthews' story in his head. He needed to see if this adult day thing was real or just a lucky outlier. Tommy Reynolds slipped in last, wearing his badge and scrubs, still smelling faintly of antiseptic. Sorry, had a dressing change that ran late. Elaine smiled and waved him in. No worries, this isn't formal, this is just a conversation. She closed the door and turned to face him. I asked you all here because I think we're sitting on a solution, one that's been under our noses for years, and if we don't start taking it seriously, this crisis is going to crush all. Families, hospitals, budgets, everything. She clicked a small remote. A single slide appeared on the screen behind her. The future of senior care. A bold bet on adult day. Jessica sat straight up. I've seen what you do, Elaine continued, looking at Jessica, and I've seen what happens without it, she said, turning to Dr. Chen. I've seen families collapse, caregivers burn out, hospitals overwhelmed, and seniors spiral because there's no middle lane. We've built a system that only responds to emergencies. Michael nodded. We wait until people break before we intervene. Tommy spoke up, and then we slap on a Band-Aid and call it a discharge plan. Elaine stepped closer to the table. So here's what I'm proposing. We build a pilot program, small to start, in 5 counties. We create a referral pipeline between hospitals and adult day centers, launch a public awareness campaign for private pay families, track hospital readmissions, caregiver stress levels, and cost savings. Jessica's eyes widened. Do we even have that kind of support? Elaine gave a half smile. Not yet, but this is where it starts, with stories, with data, and with real people. She turned back to the screen. The perfect storm is coming, but we still have time to build an ark. A pause filled the room. Not silence, something better. Conviction. Michael leaned forward. You've got my support, and I'll bring my hospital with me. Jessica nodded. I'll get the other center directors on board. Tommy added, if I can help you build the metrics, I'm in. Families are begging for this. Elaine exhaled. Good, because we're going to make some noise, and just like that, the spark caught. Gosh, that gives me chills. It just gives me chills. Because look, at the end of the day, this particular chapter, chapter 9, the first spark, this is like a, what do you call it when you're like predicting? This is a prediction. This is a foreshadowing of what's to come. This will happen someday. This study will happen. These people will be sitting in this room somewhere in Tallahassee or somewhere at the federal level or at every state level, and these conversations will be had. And it'll be similar to like what's happening in this book. One day this book won't be the future or a picture or a vision of the future. One day this book will be history. It'll be what happened. And so anyways, if you haven't already, make sure you get the book, The Great Care Crisis. You can get it on Amazon. Look, it's a short, little, easy read. Come on. And, if you're ready for chapter 10, we'll dive into that one tomorrow. All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you so much for your support. Love you all. See you soon.